Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. This is your Manchester United Transfer News Daily, where we talk about all the latest transfer news and give it that real fan opinion. And before we talk about Costa, Ozil, Steven Bergwijn, whoever he is, some of you will know, I certainly do. Let's just say, I think we got How Tall is Kalidou Koulibaly trending last night on Google Trends, because I think a lot of you were looking at how big he is. I've got a bit of conclusion here. His Wikipedia page says 6'5". There's a lot of things saying he's 6'5", but there is a picture of him next to Patrick Vieira, who is about 6'4", and he's clearly 2 inches smaller. So I think he's around 6'2", 6'2.5". But it's still academic because he's still dominant in the air. But if anybody wants to, get a tape measure out and measure him definitively, let's do it. Let's find out how tall he is. But he's good in the air, and that's all that matters. Anyway, that's last night's video if you've not seen it about the Koulibaly stuff. Let's get into today. Douglas Costa, another story coming out of Italy that Manchester United are very, very, very serious about their chase to sign Douglas Costa from Juventus. He was at Juventus for a couple of years. He was on loan for a year from Bayern Munich, and they went through with the deal last summer. However, he's not playing as much as he probably would like to. Obviously, with Ronaldo coming into the club, he's not always starting games. He also had that spitting incident as well, and there's a feeling that he may want to move. Now, there was talk about it being linked to a Paul Pogba move to Juventus, which is very, very dangerous. What would you get with Douglas Costa? On his day, you get a wide player who is devastating. He can create, he can dribble, he can score goals. He's absolutely amazing. But I'd sort of say Willian is a BTEC Douglas Costa, because Willian, in some ways, is very similar to Douglas Costa in the fact that on his day he can be very, very good, but that sometimes he has days where he's frustratingly inconsistent, and that's the problem with Douglas Costa. He can produce moments of magic, but he can also produce moments of pure shit, to be honest with you, and that is being blunt, but it's true. Also, with Douglas Costa, I don't know that he fits in with what I believe is going on at Manchester United, which is this desire to go for younger players, of which we're going to talk about one in a moment. Douglas Costa's 29 this summer, 29 years of age. What, how and why would you go and buy a winger who is 29? We were talking a year or two ago about Perisic, who was 28, and going, well, he's too old. So why would we go for Douglas Costa, a relatively inconsistent Brazilian who is not really getting the game time he wants at Juventus? Why would we go and spend good money on Douglas Costa and at that age? It doesn't make sense to me as to why we're in. So I think my personal feeling is that Douglas Costa won't be coming to Manchester United, and it's a little bit of a 2 + 2 is 5 scenario from journalists who are thinking Pogba, Juventus, United need a winger. I don't know. I do like Douglas Costa. I've spoken about him before. I do like him. He's a very, very good winger. And I wouldn't be opposed to him coming to United. But there are a few warning signs. His inconsistency, his age, and what it could mean for any deal for Paul Pogba to Juventus, which I am totally and adamantly against. But give us your thoughts on Douglas Costa. What do you think on that? Let's talk about Steven Bergwijn, because you may not know a lot about him. We were linked to him yesterday. Apparently Manchester United are going to send scouts to watch Steven Bergwijn. He's doing very, very good for PSV. There should be an alarm bell straight away there. I think he scored something like 9 goals in 15 games or 7 in 14, something like that, which is quite good for him. He's 21 years of age. I think he's about 5'10". For me, this is more what Manchester United should be looking at. A player that's doing good things, who's the right age, who could come to Manchester United and become an even better thing, who will then be very valuable to us, not only in the team if he stays for many years, but also if there's a resale value. And I think that's what Ed Woodward's trying to do. I think Ed Woodward wants to bring those sort of players. The thing with this that does leave a little bit of concern is two things. One, we bought a player who was on fire from PSV before. His name was Memphis Depay, and it didn't go that well. So you've also always got to be very careful as to what Dutch league form transpires into Premier League form, and we've seen it with other clubs who've bought people from the Dutch league and it's not worked out. However, there have been people who've been bought from the Dutch league, like Sony Eriksson, who's done very well. But that's one thing. The second thing is, if we're scouting PSV wingers, there's only one PSV winger we should be scouting, and that's Hirving Lozano, because he is the real deal, and he is exactly what Manchester United need. Early 20s, Mexican international, touted around the top clubs for his form this season. been touted around for a long time. He is exactly what Manchester United need now. He would be exciting. His agents, Mino Raiola, maybe we can open up those doors again. I'm sure Mino Raiola would like a bit of the Manchester United pie. So, yeah, I think that's it. But I'm not going to knock the lad, Steven Bergwijn. He's fast. He's a good dribbler. He can score goals. There's this feeling that he's an out-and-out winger, but actually, I think he can play up front. I think he can play as the sort of false nine position. But he's sort of being touted as this out-and-out winger, whereas I think there's more to him than that. I think there's very few players that are out-and-out wingers now. I think Lozano is, but although he can play at number 10. But most people now aren't out-and-out wingers. They can play either side. They can play number 10. And some of them can even play up front as well. So he's an interesting player, Bergwijn, and it's good that we're looking to scout him. I don't think we'd be signing him in January, but it certainly is an interesting one from a Manchester United point of view. So yeah, really, really interested by that. And but I do feel that it probably should be Hirving Lozano that we're looking at. I'm trying to understand why I've got Sanchez there. I can't think. I'm looking at my note. I don't know what that Sanchez is. It must be from an old template that I've just not deleted the name, because I can't think for the life of me who that is and why they're even on there. So a blooper on the United Stand Football Transfer Daily there, unless it comes back to me. I don't know who the bloody hell we're talking about there. But one name I did want to throw in. A couple of players actually, both sort of linked to Arsenal quite heavily. One because he plays for Arsenal. But Mesut Ozil, he will be leaving Arsenal by the sounds of it. There's big problems there. It was only a year ago that we were doing these shows saying, go and get Ozil, go and get Ramsey. And go and get Ozil, go and get Sanchez, because we were very excited about it. And Sanchez is with a Z, so that still doesn't work. So would you take Mesut Ozil at Manchester United is going to be the question, because he signs that contract when he was out of contract a year ago. So whoever goes for Ozil is going to have to pay good money for him, whereas a year ago we could have got him for pretty much free because he was out of contract. So look, Ozil's 30 at the moment. He's 31, I think, in October. So he's no spring chicken. I think he's massively inconsistent. I think he's the invisible man in big games. But on his day, he's absolutely fantastic. But I think it's just a bit... I only throw it out there because it's the United Stand. It's a fan channel. And what I think isn't necessarily what a load of you think. So I just wanted to throw it in there to get your thoughts on it. There's no doubting Mesut Ozil is a very, very good player. But he's another player who plays better off the left. Well, we've got loads of players for that. We don't play a number 10, so he can't play there. So why, if you're going to play him off the right, is he just going to be another Mkhitaryan, another Mata, not played in position? He doesn't like to track back. I don't... Even if it's prime Ozil, I don't see how he fits in at Manchester United. So for me, it's a big no because of that. It's a big no because you'd have to pay good money for him because he's under contract now. And it's a big no because of his age. But I did want to throw it out there. The other player I wanted to talk about was James Rodriguez. Now, he is a player that I've wonderful left foot. I absolutely love James Rodriguez and I've wanted United to sign him for a very long time. There's talk of him, he's going to go to Bayern Munich, because whether Bayern Munich want to keep him or not, as long as they pay, I think I wrote it down, 42 million euro. They've got to pay 42 million euro because they took him on a 2-year loan 2 years ago. Funnily enough, 2 years is 2 years. And they had, as part of that loan deal, they had a 42 million pound agreed price to pay for him, which is about 37 million pounds sterling. 37 million pounds for Rodriguez. So what Bayern Munich will do is they'll buy him for 37 million because they know they can sell him at least for that to get his money back, because I think Rodriguez is about 27 now. But Arsenal are talking about getting him on loan. I'd love him at Manchester United, absolutely love him. I don't think we'll ever do it. Because one, that would be a dream move for me because I just really like James Rodriguez. But two, his agent is George Mendes, who is Mourinho's agent, who never does any deals with us apart from De Gea that we've had for a while. He doesn't bring any of his players to our club. So I don't think that would happen for that reason. But I think if Arsenal got him, he's a good signing. But I suppose, again, the thing about James Rodriguez, you can play him in the right side where Mata is. He does play that position and he can do it very well. I don't think Ozil does it well. I don't think Mata could do it well. But I think Rodriguez could do it well. Obviously, I think Rodriguez's best position is off the striker. But I think Rodriguez could play left side, right side. I'd get rid of Alexis Sanchez for Rodriguez. I think Rodriguez is way better than Sanchez. But it's probably not going to happen, in all honesty. Coutinho's a player that keeps coming out a lot. I don't know what I feel about Philippe Coutinho. Well, I do know, actually. I'm very blunt about it. I don't want him at Manchester United. I think he's just another Di Maria. but he's worse. He's not just a snake. He's a double snake. He's got a snake head on both ends because he used to play for Liverpool. So I wouldn't never want him at Manchester United. All that crap of listening to Liverpool fans and everything like that. I don't want it. I don't like the whole United Liverpool thing or Liverpool United thing. I don't want that. That rivalry matters. So I wouldn't want him at United. I also I don't think his form's that good. I think to call him a Spence Force and a flop was a bit unfair because I believe he is only about 26 still. So he's still got a lot in him and he's Premier League proven. And I can understand why a lot of you would be excited about him because, in all fairness, when he was at Liverpool, he was their best player. I remember I was very happy he was going to Barcelona because it was like, well, they're missing out. They're losing a player there. And he is a very, very, very good player. And if he hadn't played for Liverpool, I think I would be quite like, oh, I'm quite interested in that deal. But because he's played for Liverpool, I just can't look at it. I can't look at it. So I was playing FIFA yesterday and Suarez was up front and people were like, you should buy Suarez. I said, I'd rather eat a pint glass of glass. I really would. I can't stand Suarez. And that's not just because of the Liverpool thing. There's just some players I don't want at United, and Coutinho would be one of those just because of the Liverpool thing. But I'd have to swallow it. I'd have to get on with it, wouldn't I? If it did happen, I would. But it's not all about people coming in and out the door as well, isn't it? I think we're going to, as I said last night, I think we are now going into a very important time for United these next 2 weeks. I think we've got to do some business. If you were telling me who we're going to sign at this moment and you wanted me to guess, I probably would guess at Koulibaly, and as I said last night, I'm only 40% sure we're going for him. I think we will sign somebody. I just don't really know who it's going to be. I think we're definitely going to see people going out the door. I think Fellaini will probably go on loan. McTominay should go on loan, and we might sell Darmian. We might sell Rojo, but I still think if we come out of this transfer window and we've offloaded a couple of players, that's good. It's what's coming in the door that is obviously going to keep most people's attention, because that obviously is the thing that we focus on with Manchester United at the moment, because that's what we want, isn't it? That's what we're here for. So yeah. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Please do drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and get your comments in below. We're talking right wingers here, and I think there's a contrast. There's a few contrasts. You've got Rodriguez. Would you be looking at him? Ozil. Would you consider Ozil at Manchester United? Honest answer. And Costa versus Steven Bergwijn or Lozano. What would you go for? Douglas Costa? We're apparently very interested in him. Or would you rather go for the younger model? Let us know why. Get your comments in below. And I'll speak to you all later. Thanks for watching.